last tutorial, we created the center of gravity control and parented our upper body and lower body controls as well as the hip to that control. We're going to continue on up the joint chain here, working on the neck as well as the head. And I think what will work well for both of these is just using a NURBS circle. So let's go ahead and create one of those. Under Create NURBS Primitive with Interactive Creation turned off, I'm going to click on Circle. There it is down there on the center of the grid. I hit the F key just to frame in on that. I'm going to scale this up a little bit here, bring it up, go ahead and scale it down. And I'm also going to rotate it a little bit just so we get that angle. Bring it forward. And I'm going to move the pivot down here to the center of the neck by hitting Insert and the V key. We can snap that down into position. So we've got that right there. Insert again. It's the home key on a Macintosh. All right, so we've got our pivot point around that joint, or inside that joint. Our neck control up here where it's easily accessible to the animator. Let's go ahead and open up the attribute editor, and under Drawing Overrides, we're going to enable overrides and give it a color. Give it a lime green color. Okay, and we can select that, the neck control. Let's come into our channel box and rename that. Neck control. We need to freeze our transformations, and we can delete any history on that as well. Delete by type history, clean that up. And let's go ahead and parent that to the chest now, chest control. So I just shift selected that, P on the keyboard, and now we can come back and select just the neck control, shift select the neck bone, and under constrain we're going to do an orient constrain. Okay, and we only need rotation on this, so we can go ahead and clean up our other channels here with lock and hide. And we'll do the same thing here. We will lock and hide those as well. Okay, so we just have rotation. Okay, so we just have rotation now, which is what we want. Okay, let's move on up to the head here. We'll do the same thing with a NURBS circle. Under Create NURBS Primitives, Circle. I've got it down here on the grid. Let's move this up into position. We're going to rotate it 90 degrees in X to have it facing towards us. And we can go ahead and shape this now. Just right mouse click, Control Vertex. We can grab some of these and begin pulling them into position. Just going to scale these in a little bit and maybe shift them down. Same thing here. So I'm shift selecting these using the scale tool to bring them in. Okay, so I think that looks all right. It's not intersecting the neck. We can perhaps move this up overall just a little bit, just so it's resting right about here. And if you want to move it forward a little bit, you can do that as well in front of the neck. Okay, so I think that looks all right. Let's go ahead and give it a color. So Control A, enable overrides. I'm going to make this one red. There we go. And we can come under Modify Freeze Transformations. Go back to my channel box. You can see it zeroed everything out. We're also going to delete by type history, clean that up. Okay, let's go ahead and give that a name. This is the head control. All right, and we're going to shift select the neck control and parent those. All right, and we still need to move our pivot point. Let's actually unparent that. we go. So let's move the pivot point down. It actually needs to be right here on the head bone. So I'm going to hold down, hit the insert key, hold down the V key, and just drag that into position. So we have that centered there on that joint. Hit insert again. And now we can come back and parent that. So I'm going to shift select the neck and parent those. All right. So we can select the head control, shift select that head bone, come under constrain, orient constrain, and come back here and clean up the channels that we don't need. We don't need the translate XYZ, so we're going to lock and hide those. Same thing with our scale. Lock and hide those. Great. So we have that complete now. And let's go ahead and finish up with the head. We've got a few more things to rig still. We've got the eyelids to open and close, the eyebrows to move up and down. And we'll take care of those first before we finish up with the arms and the hands. And we'll do that in the next lesson.